Welcome to another journey of discovery. Today, we're stepping back into the sands of time to uncover a story of unprecedented power, monumental ambition, and an ancient mystery that lay buried for millennia. We are exploring a marvel of the ancient world that literally redefined architecture and immortalized a queen who dared to be king.
Imagine standing before one of the most breathtaking monuments ever built by a woman over 3,500 years ago. A temple so extraordinary that it still leaves archaeologists and visitors speechless. Feel the dry desert wind of Luxor. Look up at those imposing, sheer limestone cliffs. And there, carved directly into the heart of the mountain, is an architectural triumph that completely defies its age.
We're talking about the Mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, commissioned roughly 3,500 years ago. It was built by Queen Hatshepsut. She was the visionary daughter of King Thutmose I, and she rose to become one of ancient Egypt's most successful, powerful, and truly enigmatic pharaohs of the legendary 18th dynasty.
Part 1. An architectural masterpiece, the House of a Million Years.
The ancient Egyptians called this sacred site the House of a Million Years, which is just a perfect name for a structure designed for eternal worship. Before you even reached the first steps, you would have walked down a grand 1-kilometer processional avenue. Originally, this path was lined with magnificent sandstone rams imported all the way from the Gebel el-Silsila quarries. And this incredible avenue didn't just lead to the Nile, it was deliberately designed to perfectly align Hatshepsut's temple with the great temple of Amun-Re at Karnak, sitting directly across the water on the eastern bank of the river.
Now, what makes this structure absolutely revolutionary is how it completely breaks the mold. You see, traditional Egyptian temples, up to that point, featured massive enclosed pylons and hidden, dark columned halls. But Hatshepsut's brilliant architect, a man named Senenmut, just abandoned tradition entirely. He designed 3 vast, open terraces, stacked one on top of the other, that beautifully and seamlessly blended with the towering natural limestone cliffs right behind them. To create something so revolutionary out of rugged stone was no small feat. It took 15 years, from the 7th to the 22nd year of Hatshepsut's reign, to build this masterpiece. And here is a fascinating hidden secret. Senenmut, the chief architect and royal confidant, was so intimately tied to this project that he actually built his own secret tomb. He carved it extending 97 meters deep into the rock, directly beneath the first terrace of the Queen's Temple.
Section 2. The Expedition to Punt, a journey of wealth and wonder.
Moving up the connecting ramps to the second terrace, mere architecture transforms into a grand historical canvas. Carved intricately right into the walls of the southern colonnade is the legendary trade mission to the Land of Punt. This took place in the 9th year of her reign, right around 1459 BC. Her ships returned heavily laden with massive wealth, fragrant incense to please the gods, precious myrrh, solid gold, rare ebony wood, living exotic animals, and rich panther skins that would be worn by the highest Egyptian priests.
Guarding this incredible record of wealth and diplomacy is an awe-inspiring sight. Picture 26 towering, massive statues of Hatshepsut lining the facade of this second terrace. Originally, these statues would have been brightly painted. Crucially, they depict the queen in the form of Osiris, the god of the afterlife. It was a powerful visual statement projecting ultimate, undeniable royal and divine authority.
Which brings us to Section 3, Sanctuaries of the Gods, specifically Hathor, Anubis, and Amun-Re.
Moving deeper into that second terrace, the secular achievements start to fade away, and we encounter the profound spiritual heart of the complex. The symmetry here is just masterful. On the south side, we find the Shrine of Hathor, where the columns are topped with the faces of the goddess, and vivid murals depict Hathor in her divine cow form. On the exact opposite side, to the north, is the Shrine of Anubis, the jackal-headed god of embalming. This shrine is guarded by 12 columns and features absolutely gorgeous murals of gods like Ra-Horakhti.
Following the grand processional route, we ascend the final ramp to the third terrace. Step by step, we are moving away from the mortal world and into the most sacred, restricted heart of the temple. We enter the festival hall, pass by the open-air solar cult chapel dedicated to the sun god's nighttime journey, and finally arrive at the pinnacle, the sanctuary of Amun-Re. Here lies a stroke of true astronomical genius. As you enter through the massive granite doors of the sanctuary, you stand beneath a vaulted dome.
The ancient builders engineered precisely placed windows to catch the rays of sunlight, allowing beams to pierce the dark inner sanctum and brilliantly illuminate the face of the god statue inside. It was a daily, theatrical display of divine magic.
But as we look closely at these magnificent walls and statues, a much darker story emerges. Across the temple, faces have been smashed and names have been violently scraped from the stone. It begs a thrilling question. Why on earth would a monument of such beauty and historical magnitude be deliberately vandalized?
Section 4. The attempted erasure. Uncovering a hidden legacy.
To answer that, we have to look at the dramatic aftermath of Hatshepsut's death. This wasn't random destruction. This was a calculated, state-sponsored attempt to alter the timeline of human history. The culprit was her co-ruler and immediate successor, Thutmose III. While Hatshepsut reigned, he was largely kept in the background. But once he took full power, he ordered her name systematically chiseled away from the walls of this very temple. Her majestic Osiris statues were smashed into pieces and thrown into nearby quarries. He literally tried to erase her legacy entirely, hoping she would be forgotten forever.
But history has a funny way of surviving, doesn't it? The site lived on through a fascinating life cycle. Long after the pharaohs, during the spread of Christianity, a monastery called Deir el-Bahari was built right on top of the ancient ruins. It was actively used until the 11th century. In fact, it is this very Christian monastery that gave the site its modern Arabic name, Deir el-Bahari, or the Monastery of the North. It wasn't until the 19th and 20th centuries that the modern world finally began to peel back the layers and uncover the queen's lost legacy.
Bringing this temple back to life wasn't the work of one person. It was a monumental, century-long global effort. Auguste Mariette first began clearing the rubble in the 19th century. Later, explorers like Edouard Neville and the famed Howard Carter painstakingly cleared out the monastery debris. It was Herbert Winlock and his team who actually found Hatshepsut's shattered statues in those nearby quarries and managed to piece them back together. And since 1961, a dedicated Polish archaeological team has been meticulously restoring the site stone by stone, finally giving the queen her voice back. The Temple of Hatshepsut is more than a monument. It's a timeless symbol of ambition, innovation, and one of history's greatest female rulers. But this is only one of Egypt's countless incredible stories waiting to be discovered. If you're fascinated by ancient Egypt, hidden archaeological treasures, and the latest discoveries, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this explainer, and turn on notifications. Join us as we uncover the secrets of one of the world's greatest civilizations, one story at a time. Because honestly, if a legacy as monumental as Hatshepsut's could be buried in the sand, it makes you wonder what other forgotten titans of history are still out there, just waiting to be found.